Hello friends, welcome to the beginning of our videos on company law in Ghana, as you saw on the slider. What is company law? Now, there is a very common saying that is, unity is strength. Others also translate or say that in unity there is diversity, or in diversity there is unity. The whole object is that if a person begins in a trade, let's say he's a plumber, he's a carpenter, he's a dressmaker, or anything at all, there comes to be a time that he wants to expand his trading activities. In the course of expansion, what he may choose to do is that other people who may share those similar goals and ideas with him as to making sure that the business will grow, they come together and they work as a team. The law has got an interesting way of trying to recognize these collaborative efforts. This is much of part of what we call a company law. So many of these persons along the line, as the business grows, they begin to now come together and work as a much more larger group. There has to be a mechanism where rules can therefore be prescribed as to how the operations of these people will work. Again, I say that is much of the principle of what we call company law. So in the series of videos that you'll be watching under company law, we'll be discussing, for example, one, what are the formalities of establishing a company or the nature of business establishment? We'll talk about sole proprietorships by the law. We'll talk about partnerships. And also, again, we'll now focus on limited liability companies. What is a limited liability company? So the formalities of how to establish companies and those dealings, we'll talk about it from the perspective of the law. Again, when we focus on company law, we also look at what we call corporate governance. When we say corporate governance, we are referring to how the administrative structure of the company has to be done. Who are the directors? Who is the secretary? What are the rules of the directors in there? What are the things that directors could do for the company? Or what are the things that they should not do? What are essentially their rights and liabilities? All this is what we refer to as corporate governance. Then also, we'll discuss corporate finance. That's the third. Now, under corporate finance, we'll talk about how the financing system of a company is established. We'll talk about debt financing. We'll talk about equity financing. We'll talk about debentures and all those things. But note, this aspect of corporate finance is just strictly going to deal with the prescriptions of the law, not necessarily the mathematics and the accounting philosophies that go in there, because it is company law that we are studying. The statutes that we're going to rely on is the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and several more. Other essential doctrines that we also learn under our study of company law, we also look at the concept or the legal doctrine or concept of separate legal personality of companies. What do we mean by that? Guys, it promises to be a very exciting episode of learning company law. So if you are an accounting student, if you are a law student, and you're going to take company law, make sure that you stick and stay with us as we go through an exciting phase and period and serialization of the law under company law in Ghana. Stay tuned.